Hi everybody, Ben here from Art Less Ordinary. So, I am going to do a swipe on a placemat. So, I'm testing out a few different placemats to see what actually suits my dining table the best. And this is something I've just wanted to see how this works. So, I'm going to do a swipe. Now, the colours I have and the paints I've got, I haven't used any of these colours before either. They are the Treasured Gold in folk art. I have Platinum, Rose Gold and Copper. So they're the three swipe colours along with black that I have, which is Holcroft Professional. So these ones I mix 1 part paint to 1.5 parts floetrol. The black is 1 part paint to 3 parts floetrol. So these are a lot more thinner, but they're very smooth paints. They're really nice. The base colour is very similar to what actually is already on here, but I need it to be wet. So this is a grey that I have made up using eraldo di paulo paints. So it was 23 grams white and about 4 grams black. And then I made that 4:1 paint to floetrol. And that is probably about it. I don't know how much paint I need to cover this surface because I haven't done this in a swipe before, but I've made up paint and hopefully I've got enough. So let's start off with the base coat. So I'm just going to pour this on. I'm probably going to use it all and I can just tip off what I haven't ended up using. So I'll save a little bit in the cup. Always best to save a little bit just in case. I am recording. Yes, I am. Oh, knocking things over. So all as you do with the base coat is you put it on. Normally I spread it around with my palette knife, but I don't think I will, seeing it's a piece of wood. I think I would just tilt. And all I've got it on is a couple of old cups. I keep my old cups that have paint stuck in the bottom that I didn't wash in time, just for this occasion, for using as stands. So I'm not going to let it go over the edges just yet. I'm just going to move it around and get close to the edges. Come back and do this side. It's very different using a circular. I've always used rectangles in the past. I've only done circles a few times and they're a little bit different to work with. Alright, so I've covered most of the surface. Now I'm just going to go over the edges so I know that I have coated the whole thing. So sometimes it's funny, I kind of felt like this paint was, I was like, oh, am I making it too thin when I'm making it? But now that I'm tilting it, it feels a little bit thicker than normal. So just got to make sure the whole surface is covered. You also kind of want your edges to be covered too, so I will sort them out in a second. Alright, now bring the paint back down to the middle, or middle-ish. Just run my fingers along the edge, make sure that it's got paint on it, and underneath to get off that excess. Okay, that should be good. There's a little lump there. Okay, that's looking good. So get my gloves off. And give it a bit of a torch to pop all those bubbles. Excellent. Now I can see a tiny little lump right here. Don't quite know what that was. And there. That's why popping the bubbles is good, because it actually shows you imperfections that you might have thought was a bubble, but it actually was a little lump. Now, I've cut my cards. I've cut them into, I think this is the third. So smaller than what I would do if I was doing my larger swipe. And from here, now I just have to drizzle the paint across. So being a circle, I probably have to be a little bit more precise about how my center. Sometimes with a rectangle canvas, you've got a little bit more leadway with it not being exactly in the center. So I'm just giving these all a quick stir because they're metallic and they settle. I'm going to go the copper first. I am going to do my wiggle. I just got to hopefully make sure I do this evenly. So start off and go all the way to your off again. Next, I'm going to go the platinum. So the platinum is a little bit similar to the grey base, but I was hoping to make the grey base a little bit darker, but I ended up not doing it. But it won't matter because this is metallic, and let that little drop land on the... if it's going to drip. No, it doesn't want him. Because that's metallic, it's not going to be the same as the base anyway, so that's fine. Now, the copper. Now, I felt like I did go a little bit light. Drip. And I want another drip over here. I might go on this side actually. Maybe one more. Yeah, I felt just I got a little bit light there. Now the black. The black is important because it's an opaque. You can use other colours as long as they're opaque. I'm going to go back again. There we go. black is sinking. Let's try that one more time. I'm going to run out of black actually, so it's not going to go the whole way across. The black is fine when it's on the base coat, but when it hits the metallics, it sinks into them. But the black is good because the black's going to give you the lacing. Okay, now let's see how this goes. So like normal, when I do my swipe, start off the edge and go. I'm probably going to have to go all the way to the ends with this one and not do ghosty. I'm not sure. I'll see how I go as I do it. Don't push too hard. You're on wood. The whole canvas or the whole placemat is wood. If you push hard, you'll hit the wood and it's really hard to fix that. So just lightly let it sit on there. Drag it down. Wipe off your card. Put it on there. Drag it down. Wipe off your card. Wiping off a lot of metallic. Drag it on there. Just keep going across. So that one there, the base coat, I ended up dragging over the other paints and all the cells popped up because of that. So you always do get more cells when you get the base coat or an opaque usually that runs across the metallics. Tiny little bit on the edge. There we go. That is cool. So another idea is if you wanted to, you could put this a little bit higher up and just do half a swipe and leave the other half negative. But I'm going to turn it around and do the whole canvas like this. But you can see cells and stuff appearing, and it is so metallic-y, or if that's a word, lots of metallic in there. So very happy about that. Now I'm going to get paint on my fingers and this around, I think. I didn't get much. I put my hands far enough under that I didn't actually get the base. And now it's just a matter of doing the same thing over on this side. Try and go from where you were before, swiping. Grab it and put it over. If I go quiet, it's because I'm concentrating. So if you wanted to, you could use one big piece and swipe it as a whole half and a half. I just decided to do the swipe because I wasn't sure if I was going to ghost it or not. But I decided once I'd started, I won't ghost it. And you just have to go steady. It doesn't have to be quick and it doesn't have to be slow. It just has to be steady. I do find if I go too quick, I'm more likely to get skips. And I don't want too many skips. There's a tiny little one here and a little one over there. But I'm not going to stress over those. More likely to mess it up if I try and fix it. So just continuing to swipe all the way along. Perfect. Okay. Now, as you can see, my paper towel is quite pretty. Well, it's ugly, but it's got lots of pretty metallics in it. I could, don't know if I've got a spare coaster lying around where I could just squash into that metallic there. Not that I can see. I put them away and only get them out when I'm going to do a certain pour with them. But if you wanted to, you could just end up squishing your coaster into that or something. But this is what I wanted. This is what I've got. I am going to give it a slight torch just to see what pops up, if anything. Not really. I think a couple of little bubbles popped and maybe a couple of effects. So I got a little bit close in one spot and that did actually create a whole bunch of unusual effects. But I don't want to do that everywhere in case the paint doesn't look damaged. But that's something I would probably try later on a small little coaster. Just get a little bit closer with the blowtorch and see if those cool effects is actually damaged paint or whether it's just reactions from heat and these paints, because I haven't done a lot of testing with these paints yet. But I think that looks great as a placemat. I think that would look really good on a dining table, so I'm quite pleased. You don't always know how things are going to turn out or work until you've actually done them. But I think that this, seeing it's got, so it says platinum, but it's very silvery in my eyes. So you've got the silver, you've got the copper, and you've got rose gold. So they will actually work with quite a lot of different like dinner sets, colours, even like a table runner. If I have a table runner that's got golds in it, or kind of red, not so much red, but rose golds or even silvery colours, it will blend in really well. Blacks, whites. So this is actually quite a good colour scheme for that purpose. I do have cells. I reckon if I had more black made up, I would have added a little bit more black when I was doing my pouring, just because it sinks into the metallics. When you just lose a bit of it because it sank into the metallic. I'm loving this. I think this is awesome. You have no idea how shiny these are. So these treasured golds are so super shiny. I'm really liking them. I haven't, like I said, I haven't done a lot of experimenting with them, so I still find Deco Art my favourite. But I do like these treasured gold, but they do cost a little bit more. So that's why I'm doing some experiments, but I'm not going too overboard, because really, I don't have enough money to waste. I work hard as a horticulturalist. I don't exactly earn tons of money, and this is my fun and my enjoyment at the end of the day. The paints are running over the edges in parts and creating different effects. You can always repaint the sides like a black later on once it's actually dried, just to see what happens there. But overall, super happy. So time for a close-up. There we go. And every week I go to the shops and I look for another ring light, so I can actually have better lighting, and they just aren't getting more stock in. So I can't improve my lighting just yet until they get more of what I want. But I feel like the camera's zoomed. Oh no, that's normal. Okay, so that's the colours. Go away light, we want to see some shimmer. No, it's not really bringing up the shimmer, but it is definitely there. But there's some cell action happening in different parts. That one there was super celly. Over here we got nice cells. More there. But I don't really think it has to have cells in this. I'm quite happy with just the colours and the shape of it. I think it looks quite good, and I think it will suit a dining table really well. Can I change the colouring? No, that's too dark. That's probably a little bit better to what I see. A little bit more lighter with some dark patches. But yeah, I hope you guys like this. Let me know what you think. And tell me if you think that it would look good in a dining room. I'm a bit of a bloke, so I do know what I like, but I don't know what actually looks good for everyone else. So let me know what you think. So comment, like the video, share the video. If you think someone would like to see placemats, nice placemats for their table, show them, and they might want to try and do something themselves. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe and hit the bell and click all, and it will let you know when new videos come up, and you can watch them if you think they look good. If you don't think they look good, just skip them and wait till the next one. We all have different tastes and different styles and things that we do. But yeah, hope you guys like this. I'm super happy, and I will see you soon for another pour. Have a good night. Bye.